Good evening, my fellow Michiganders. Good evening, my fellow Americans. Holy cow! It has been a second since I did a live. So here we are once again. I think it's been several months since I've been on here. So I am a little rusty. I'm not going to lie. I had to upload the old school StreamYard app and it's all brand new. So I'm getting used to this bad boy. So welcome. All right, here we go again. So one thing, you all know that I've been unplugged, right, for the last several months. And we're going to talk about how that all kind of evolved and that I'm completely done with politics. Let me say that again. I'm completely out of politics. So please don't ask me who I'm voting for, who I'm endorsing, what do I think about such and such. I'm out. Okay. Except I have to make one comment. So I'm out of the arena, but I'm going to dip my toe in right now for all of you because I just saw that Dave Bondi interviewed Anthony Hudson. And Anthony Hudson, if you don't know about him or who he is, that's probably a good thing. Don't worry about it. But for those of you who are still plugged into politics, you know exactly who that gentleman is. And he's now leaving the Republican Party, and he's now going to be running as a libertarian. I called that guy out, a year ago for everyone that's been watching? Man, I was right again. Here we go, right again. Okay, now I'm out of politics. Not going to say anything else about anyone else, so we'll leave it at that. All right, so let's get through, and what I want to talk to all of you tonight is what I've been doing over the past several months and why. Obviously, I made an announcement, I think back in November 19th, before Thanksgiving, on how I was stepping away from social media, unplugging, and to go to the next chapter, literally. And the reason I did that is we all witnessed, and this has been like fueling my fire inside over the past several years, because when we all started this movement almost 6 years ago on April 9th, 2020, we always would have these festivals and freedom festivals, and when we were doing events, and there would always be a tremendous amount of women, but not a lot of men. And we literally would look around and say, where's all the men at? Why aren't the men standing up? Because all the women are out there. The majority of, now there were men that stood up, don't get me wrong, but not as much as I would have thought. And then when we fast forward, we get through the pandemic and we run our governor's race. Still, at a lot of our events, it was mostly women. And we were always still scratch our head like, why is it only women here, right? Like 75, 80% would be all women. And then when we unfortunately lost in the primary, whole other story, right? And then I started exposing all the school boards. And what did we see? Women, moms, grandmas, women in the community that were standing up. And a few men would drip in there every now and again. And we would scratch our heads and go, what would we say? Like, where's all the men? And that bothered me. It bothered me a lot, especially when we start getting into, men and women's sports, or boys using girls' locker rooms and restrooms. I don't have daughters. God bless me with two boys, probably for a reason. Because if I had a daughter that was going to a school that they allowed a boy to go and change in front of my daughter, or go in a bathroom where my daughter was, or men at sporting events, I would have yanked my daughter out of that school, and I would have thrown the biggest hissy fit in humanity at that school board, and I would have been nonstop consistent with it. But we just didn't see it. And it bothered me. It really did. And so I made a choice. Obviously, I have very big platforms. And I would get on here like a lot of other social media influencers. I don't even like to call myself that. But we have a following. And so I'd get on there and I would do what the other social media influencers do, is just create noise. That's what I think it is. It's just people getting online and giving their opinions, and nothing ever gets done. It's just noise. And with that noise comes division. We're seeing the Republican Party, especially in the state of Michigan. It's just nonstop noise and attacks. And it just nothing ever gets done. And folks, you guys know me. I'm a man of action. I want to get things moving. I want to see my footprints behind me in the sand or in the snow, because we're still in winter here in Michigan, to let me know that I am getting things done. And it just felt in my heart and soul that I wasn't getting anything accomplished. I felt that we got so much accomplished during the pandemic with putting the pressure on with the Unlock Michigan petition. I feel we got a lot accomplished, obviously, in our campaign with exposing what was going on with the mask mandates, the vaccine mandates, everything else that we were standing for, the exposing the school boards. But it just, I wasn't getting enough done in my heart where I felt fulfilled. And I just felt like I was beating my head against the wall. And so that's why I stepped away from politics and all that noise. And I'm not going back. I feel that God has me on a different direction. And it may be this book. I don't know. But I unplugged. I didn't go away. I unplugged and I went to the garage, as they say. Not in the kitchen, the garage. And I just started to write what was on my mind. And in 3 months, I came up with this. And I am extremely, extremely proud of this book. Now, for those of you who follow me, you know that I already had a book. I published a book, published author, God's True Law, Parents Guide to Raising Successful Children, way back in 2010, 2013. This is my second book. But it took me 1.5 years to write that book. It took me 3 months to write this one. And folks, I had a lot to say. I really did. I mean, I started this bad boy right off the bat. The world is always looking for real men, not followers, spectators, and definitely not boys wanting to be girls, men. That's how I started this. All right. And the reason I wrote this is to restore standards for men. I just saw that there was a plastic surgeon who was apologizing. I think it was in New York. It just broke today that he apologized for doing the gender reassignment surgery. Why are you apologizing? You should have stood up and refused to do it. And so a lot of these men have just basically, hey, look, they're testicles. They don't have them. They don't. They've been told for years with this toxic masculinity stuff. And I'm going to get into toxic masculinity a little bit last night because that is bad, in my humble opinion. Masculinity isn't. Toxic masculinity, I feel, is. But men are being told to soften and shrink and to doubt themselves. And when you have that, they don't have a tendency to stand up for what's right. So this book, it rejects that message. It rejects all that message. And it restores discipline, responsibility, leadership, which I think is missing. It definitely is missing in a lot of the school boards and everything else that we're seeing right now, and personal accountability. I live by these standards, and you all know I'm not perfect, that's for sure. But I wanted to give people, especially men, a clear framework of what's expected of them, because comfort is not what builds men. It doesn't. Direction does. Purpose does. This book is going to provide structure. It's going to provide daily application, practical framework on what you should be doing every single day. And it's going to give you some living standards to live by. It's not easy, folks. It's not. Like anything in this life that you're a part of, and you guys all know this, men, women, I don't care who you are, anything that you do in life, you have to earn it. You have to put in the work. It's not going to be handed to you. The concepts and stuff that I talk about in this book, it's just not like, it's not a motivational book. It's, if anything, it's an accountability book, because I know there is a lot of young men and women who are scratching their heads and say, you know what? Why didn't dad stand up? Why didn't dad go to the school board? Why wasn't dad out there like some of these other people protesting what was going on? We all were. And that's one of the proudest things that I think we all have done, is we can look at ourselves in the mirror and realize, like, hey, we didn't always get along, for those of us who were on the right side. But we did stand up, and we didn't take it. We didn't comply. So this is also a book that's going to help people reclaim their mind. And that's why, even though my first book was geared around parenting, this book is obviously geared around men, but the universal principles that we talk about are for everyone. It's a very big self-help book. I directed it at men because I feel that it is definitely needed in today's society. But it's going to give you a lot of great information in here. It's a really big book to me. My first book was a lot shorter. It is 219 pages, I think, 219 pages. And I got to let you know, one of the things I'm proud about is I even called out Governor Whitmer on page 16. Didn't take me long, because when we look and reflect back on why people were still following through with all of her crazy mandates, and even when the data and stuff came out, they refused to admit, right, that they didn't have to wear the mask, that lockdowns didn't do what they're supposed to do, right? Stop the spread of disease. So I said in here, I said, what is the most disturbing about the pandemic experience is that even when overwhelming evidence emerged against a belief, many people continue to defend it. The pandemic exposed this at scale. Common sense did not merely erode, it was bulldozed. Fear became currency and power expanded quickly. Governors were handed emergency authority and some abused it openly. In the state of Michigan, our nanny governor, Gretchen Whitmer, executive orders failed basic standards of clarity and coherence. Big box stores stayed open while small businesses were crushed. You could crowd into Walmart, yet aisles selling paint seeds or garden supplies were taped off like crime scenes. Under Whitmer, gathering to worship was treated as a public threat, while liquor stores were deemed essential and strip clubs found ways to operate. You could not use a motorboat alone on open water. You could not travel to your own second home. Lawn care, construction, and outdoor work were banned at times despite posing virtually no risk at all. None of it followed science. None of it followed logic. It was theater. And yet people complied. Worse, they defended it. Even as data emerged showing outdoor transmission was negligible, even as schools stayed closed while bars reopened, even as mental health collapsed, children fell behind, and livelihoods were destroyed, admitting the rules were nonsense would have required admitting personal complicity. True, right? That is the line most people will not cross. When a belief becomes tied to obedience, virtue, or moral superiority, evidence stops being persuasive and starts feeling dangerous. The ego does not care about truth. It cares about not being exposed. Boom. I couldn't write my book without exposing the clown show that most of us lived in here in the state of Michigan. So I'm excited about this book. It's going to be released March 20th. People are like, we're going to go into the question answer session here in a second, because I see a lot of questions online. Why are you picking March 20th? Spring, new growth. That's my intent with this. New growth. All right. Also, some of the chapters in this book. Forged men are relentless, forged in character, the quiet weapon, the discipline of thrift, the shutdown protocol, not the lockdowns, the shutdown, what you should be doing every night. Worry is the enemy at the gate, dare to begin, aim before you fire, the enemy with a smile, nature keeps a tab. And there is a really good chapter that I love. I got to find it. You're going to love it. Where's it at? Guardians, not spectators. And you're like, what is that chapter about? About protecting your family. It's about the Second Amendment. Even put that bad boy in there. So I'm excited for this book. I put my heart and soul in this book. This is basically my little legacy that I'm going to be leaving my kids. So if God calls me up to the big leagues a little early, they can say, this is how dad lived. All right. This is not theory. It's not. These principles have literally shaped my life. I failed falling forward, as you guys are all well aware of. I strengthen my body all the time. I sharpen my thinking, and I clarified my purpose. That's why I'm in the good word every single day. I'm really growing in my Catholic faith. I really, really am getting in depth with it. So here's my plan over the next couple months. We'll see what happens, but I'm going to push this book out hard, because I think people need to hear what it says. Okay. Then I'm probably going to unplug for a bit and go back into the garage for the next step. And I don't know what that is. It's not going to be politics. Don't even bring it up. Don't even bring up what the heck and who's running or anything else. I'm never going to tell you who I vote for. I don't endorse anyone. So here's where I need your help. Okay. This is how the algorithms of Amazon work. And I'm still hoping that Amazon doesn't clip this book because, hey, look, The middle, they're going to like the book. The right is probably going to love the book. The left is actually going to despise it. Everything I say in there, they're not going to like. All right. And we all know that Amazon is left, and they have been known to ban conservative authors. That's just the facts. So how you beat their algorithms is that first week of sales. We got to get a lot of sales in there. So that's why we opened it up right now for a pre-sale for Kindle. So if you have a Kindle, you can get the pre-sale. You can order it. It's $9. Okay. It's the cheapest form of this book. The paperback, I think, is $16.99. And the hardcover, I think, is $27. Somewhere around there. So the Kindle is the cheapest option, $9.99. It will get delivered to you on March 20th. But every single Kindle sale that we do from now until March 20th, it's all going to get counted on day one. That first 48 hours after that release is going to be huge. We got to sell a lot of copies so we can get above the algorithm and hopefully be a bestseller in some categories. Okay, Christian, men, whatever that is. There's some other categories that I put it in. Very specific categories, so we can hit the bestseller list. And you got to sell so many copies. So step one, if you have a Kindle, please, and if you plan on buying it, if you don't want to buy it, that's fine. But if you plan on buying it, buy it on the Kindle, $9, and get the pre-sale so that all can go into day one. Okay. Step two is I need you to share this content over the next month. Okay. You guys can share it, get the word out. That's going to help out tremendously. And then I'll be pushing hard over the next month before March 20th to get people activated to order this book. This is a great Christmas present. Buy yourself one, buy your nephew one, buy your grandson one, buy your son one. If you have 5 sons, buy each one of them, put them in their stockings. I don't care. Let's blow it out of the water with this thing. And I really feel that you guys are going to enjoy this book. I really do. So that's step 2 is on opening day, March 20th, you're going to see my ugly mug on social media all day long, pushing it, doing lives and anything else to get people to buy the book so we can clip the algorithms and hopefully get some momentum with this thing and hopefully make some change. All right. That's what I want to do. Hey, look, I'd rather sell 100 copies to 100 people that are actually going to apply what they learn in this book to their lives, to their children, to their faith, than this thing to be a bestseller and have 1 million copies and nobody changes. That's not why I spent 3 months in the garage, as I say, working, putting the work into this book. I want to help change lives. I want to inspire ordinary people to do extraordinary things. Everything to live a fulfilled life is in this thing on investing, your faith, everything. I put everything in there. Just basically what I do on a daily basis. Doesn't mean you have to do what I do, but I take my growth very seriously, and I commit to things, and I go all in. You guys know it. That's why I unplugged, and I went all in. And, oh, my gosh, in 3 months, I wrote a book. All right, a second book. So very proud of it. We'll see how it goes, okay? And step 3, last step, okay? Short live tonight. After you read the book, please give me an honest review, okay? We all know how reviews work, but also it allows people to understand what people are getting out of it, and they may relate to your comment or your review that allows them to read your comment and then buy the book. That's why we always say it's not each one teach one, it's each one teach many. You never know what small act that you may say or do. You may read a book. You may buy this book for someone. You may leave a review, right? And may literally change the lives of millions more. That's the ripple effect, and that's how powerful you are, okay? So please follow through with those steps. If you have a Kindle, buy it. Step 2, buy it on opening day, March 20th. Set your alarm, set your calendar. Remind you, tune in to me because I'll be yapping away over the next month. And then step 3, leave a review, okay? So questions. Let's get into some questions. I'm going to go through the comments here a little bit, but I saw somebody's like, it's all AI. Garrett, look. Number 1, every idea, all the content in this book is not AI. Now, I subscribe to an editing software program to check all my grammar mistakes, and there were quite a few, to proofread my book, and then to edit it, to get it on Amazon. That program helped me do all the little things that you do because this is self-published. I don't have a publisher. And when I first wrote my first book, I had to spend like $5,000 on all that stuff, on editing and everything else to get published. Amazon is basically free. Now, they take a lot of the commission, obviously, but man, it was all free, and the whole process wasn't that bad. So here's a shout out to anyone out there that is thinking about writing a book and you have that urge in your heart. Just do it. It's not as hard as you think it is, especially with everything that's out there right now. you can do it. So if you have a great idea, put it on paper, get it on Amazon, and serve people. Okay. So no, that was the only AI was the grammar stuff, but all the content, all the ideas. I got personal stories in here. I got personal friends that I wrote about in here. I did research on some of the people that are in this book to put them in there because I resonate with their stories. But yes, what is the other thing that I see a lot of? And people are still talking politics. Get the politics out of my comments, folks. I'm not getting involved. Not even going to respond to it. And here's another thing. There's some Garrett haters out there again. I think these people just love to get on my platforms and hate on me. And I don't know if you guys have heard, but we call these people gators. Garrett haters. They're gators. And so I appreciate all their the comments that they put on my profile or on my videos and stuff because it expands my reach. So all I do is I reply with an emoji of an alligator. That's all they get. No interaction. I just reply because they're Garrett haters, gators. We should get t-shirts for that. Okay. So any questions that you have for me, not political, don't even get me going. All right. What question do you have about the book, about life, about why did I write it? Anything like that. This is your time right now before I get off. I'm already yapping for 22 minutes. It feels good. It feels a little good to be back and seeing you guys and interacting with you. I have missed you. Okay. Don't like the haters, the gators, but the following, my people's on there. You know who you are. I miss you guys all too. Jeff, not going into politics, Jeff. We'll put Jeff up there. He's always got a lot of things to say. He's involved, man. But we're not talking politics tonight. That ship has sailed, except for my little Anthony Hudson comment earlier. So, folks, if you do not have any questions for me, let me see. I'm going to go back through too many females in public. Yep, it was, man. I mean, how many times did we go through? I got to give this person a little shout out. This little troll on X, bronzed by Betsy. It's kind of funny, but they're always on my X trolling on me a little bit. They haven't been trolling a while because I've been off social media, but I'm sure they're back. So bronzed by Betsy, there's your little day in the sun. I thought the name was kind of interesting. Nope, not running. Not going to be running, folks. It's good to see all you guys, man. All my supporters. It is written in a form. Happy you're back. Are you announcing your run for governor? Absolutely not. That's probably why. I like this pullover. I always wear it to my clinic, and everybody always asks, Garrett, you're running for governor? No. I'm proud of what we did. I loved our merch that we did. I still wear it. I'm so proud of it. But no, I'm done with politics, folks. It's all over. We are moving on. What do you think the earliest age? Hey, thank you. That's a great question. What do you think the earliest age to read this book for my grandsons? That is a great question. I wrote this book with their kind of mindset in mind. Remember when we were growing up, we had the chapters were in depth. The chapters were long. And even today, still, like when you read books, sometimes they just let the chapter go on when you're like, man, you could have quit talking 2 pages ago, and that chapter could have been a lot shorter. These chapters in this book are very small. And the reason I did that is to make my point and move on, because this is how I am. I'm not going to like beat around the bush with it, but also for the younger generation, because their attention span. So the youngest I think that could read this book would be age 14 and above. Okay. 14 and 15, if they like reading at 14 and 15. All right. If they're avid readers, I think they can get through this book with the concepts and stuff. But definitely over the age of 16. Thank you so much, Kathy, for that question. Okay. I still have your card I got in the very yes, the first day. If you run for governor, the army will be voting for you. Nope. Can't wait to read my book. Thank you. God bless you too. All right. Garrett, hey, Rayanne, I see you. When will the audio book be out? All right. That is going to be released 4 to 6 weeks after the March 20th. I got to work on that. It's going to be like 7 to 8 hours long. That's what we're kind of estimating. And there's going to be a lot of work into that. So I'm starting that process now, and that should be available for audio 4 to 6 weeks after March 20th. So there you go, Rand. Thank you for that question. Thank you for caring enough to write your book. My husband and I are excited to read it. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I just hope like when you write something like that, there's a lot of nerves that go on, right? Because you kind of put your whole heart and soul into something, right? And so I hope that people get a lot out of it, right? I really do. If we can just get that one person that it just clicks, man, that'd be worth all the time that I put in this thing. So yeah, thank you. I'm excited for you guys to read it. Sherry said she ordered it. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And remember, all those pre-sale Kindle pre-orders, they all go in on, or they all count towards day one, which is huge. Is it Catholic based? No, it's not. I'm Catholic. I do talk about Catholicism on a couple pages in that 216 page book on just basically my story with it, but it is definitely not just Catholic based. I would say it's Christian based, because it has all of our values and our beliefs and how we kind of live our lives, right? I would say that it's Christian based. It's a great question. Any thoughts on 15C? Oh gosh, not going down that road, Jeff. What day will you be able to order the print? That will be March 20th. Paperback. There's a paperback. That's how thick it is. Here's the hardcover. These are what's called author copies, so I could actually proofread it. And as you can see on this one, the title was, or the book covers shifted over. So I had to shift it back. So these are not for sale, but I already have it. And actually, I already had to upload my manuscript again because I found some mistakes, or I said something I didn't like, and I had to switch it. So yes, March 20th, the paperback and hardcover. And when you pre-sale, your Kindle will be downloaded to you March 20th. Thank you for that question. All these deal, yeah, it's off of YouTube. We know that's how they took over slowly but surely. Is you want to take over a country, get into the children's minds. How you do that? School systems, and we're seeing it. Unfortunately, yep. Not talking politics, Karen. Oh, great question. Yes. Will you be narrating the audio version as well? In my first book, it wasn't me, and I got a lot of complaints that they wanted me to narrate it, but I just didn't know how to do it back then. I didn't know that was a possibility. But yes, I will be narrating, and it will be a 7-hour audiobook unless I start talking too fast, and it might be 6 hours. Thank you for that question, Julie. And she's going to get an audio, which is good. How is my family? That's thank you for asking. That's awesome. My family's doing great. Got me a little choked up there. You guys, you know how much we put into this thing in 5 years, and that took a lot of time away from my family, from my business, from my employees and stuff like that. But we've gotten back a lot of lost ground, and we're the Soldano clan. We're thriving. Boys are doing great. I'm enjoying every moment. I'm training them. My oldest is getting ready to go to college, and I got to spill the beans. My oldest, he is going to Michigan Tech. He's going to be a mechanical engineer. He got in, and we just went up there for his little contest that he entered into. So yes, my oldest will be going to Michigan Tech. I'm a proud father, that's for sure. And my youngest is going into his junior year, and we're all doing great. We really are. Thank you so much for asking about my family. I appreciate it. And thank you for the prayers. Yeah, great question, Albert. Any idea of the cost? $9 for the Kindle. Amazon.com. All right, that's where you can get it. I put the link in the description so you can click on it. And the paperback is $16.99, and the hardcover is $27. So the Kindle is the cheapest $9, I think it was. And then the paperback $16.99. So and I'm going to just finish up a little bit more. Glad your family and business are doing well. Congratulations yourself. Thank you. O'Donnell Family Chiropractic Center is doing great. I'm having a blast with all my patients. I just get to be me. And that's this version of me that I'm building right now is I kind of lost myself over the last 5 years. I got so involved in this thing. Politics is evil, as you guys are all well aware of. I just wasn't making the impact that I wanted to make. And now, especially with getting everything down on paper, what I wanted to accomplish, I'm back. And so I don't know what God has in store for me on this next chapter. We'll see. I really love helping people be better versions of themselves. That's why I love being a chiropractor. And I love people helping people develop their mind, their nutrition, their physical bodies. I love it. I mean, you guys can see it on my face. I'm just happier. That's for sure. So thank you, Rayanne. We all love you guys too. You guys are all awesome. Please give Jennifer a big hug from Ken and I. I will, Sherry. They have grown. They have grown a tremendous amount. Unbelievably fast. And you can see a lot more gray hair up there too. Means I'm getting older. How do we pre-order the paperback? Here's what I got kind of upset about. I thought you guys would be able to pre-order everything. But Amazon doesn't do pre-orders for paperback or hardcover. I think because it's print on demand, they don't have to print Kindle, they just download it. So that's why they do that. So you can't actually order the paperback or the hardcover until March 20th. So I apologize for that. That's for sure. Oh, I wish you guys moved closer too. I'd take you as a patient in a second. But hey, your pilgrimage to freedom, your pilgrimage to chiropractic, as we say. Yeah, I totally understand, though. I appreciate it. Thank you, Sherry. And I love motivating people and inspiring. Okay, folks. Thank you for all the love. Man, I missed you guys. So we're going to go hard for the next 20, 30 days. We're going to push this thing. I'm going to need your help with it. So please, anyone that you know that has a Kindle that might be interested or needs to read this book, please share this link with them. It's in the description. Tell them they need to buy it. They need to get this book. And then I'm going to activate you guys all on March 20th to share this stuff. Buy it if you want to buy it. And then make sure that you leave those reviews. And then hopefully we'll get some momentum and we can make a big impact. We're all powerful beyond measure, right? That's one thing that you guys have taught me is, man, we blaze trails so big, so wide, so full of hope and inspiration that everyone that doubted us, hated on us, the Garrett haters, they're going to have to humbly fall. Okay? So let's end this classically, right? So God bless you. God bless the state of Michigan. Of course, and always, God bless these United States. Gosh darn. It's great to see and talk with every single one of you. Have a phenomenal night with your families. Until next time. Bye-bye.